What's up guys, it's Jared the Barber. Welcome to another barber YouTube tutorial video. And in this haircut I'm going to be doing a high skin fade with a number 4 on top. This is my first skin line. This is the first line that I'm putting in. It's going to be my skin line. I'm starting at the top of the eyebrow. And I'm dropping it towards the back. Right now I'm using my wall balding clippers and I'm just getting out all that hair, making it smooth as it gets before using the full razor on him. Making sure to fold back the ears while I'm going around them. I'm using my red comb today. I'm just making sure to get all those hairs. Now I'm using my brush, just making sure I got all those hairs out of the way. Making sure that it's smooth. Usually have to go area a couple times, going over the area, making sure all the hairs are gone, and using my brush. Now I'm going in with my no guard all the way open, and I'm going up above an inch, right above that line that I just made. And I'm going flat up against the head. I'm making sure that blade is flat against the head, and I'm flicking out once I get to the top, just so I don't create another line. Okay, now I'm going in with my one guard. I think it's closed right now, so I'm going in with my one guard closed all the way around the head. And for the skin line, you just want to play with the lever and open it and close it until it's completely flicked out. You want to use flicking motions for that. And that's just again so you don't make another line. Now I'm going in with my half guard, and I'm just getting out that line that I made between the no guard open and the number one guard that I just used. And I started going into it first with my lever open, and now I'm just slowly closing it until that line's gone. And you go up higher with it open, and as you start going down lower, you start closing it. And you can go over where you did the whole number one guard with the half guard open. And that helps it fade down to the half guard closed. I hope that makes sense to you guys. You got to go over where you did the one with the half guard. It's easier to do it that way. You take the half guard, but you open it all the way up, and you go over where you just did that number one. But you're making sure that it's flat up against the head. You're not digging in too much, so you don't create another line, because that's where you're going to want to put your number two guard. You don't want to go too far into where you're going to put your number two guard. You want to make sure it's just below that line between the number one and where you didn't touch yet. Now it looks like I'm going over my top with my number four guard at this point. I have the wall colored clips, colored guards, so I have a whole rainbow pack, so that's color coded, so every number is color coded on there. I'm just using my comb, I'm combing all that hair back, just making sure they all stick up for me, so it's easier to get all those hairs. Alright, now I'm going with my number 1.5 guard. I'm starting with that open, I'm slowly closing it. So I did open first, I closed it, and now I'm going over that area closed. Since this is a high skin fade, don't be afraid to take that 1.5 into that area, because you can still fade it out. The 1.5 guard, if you keep it flat up against the head, can blend into the number 3 and number 4 guard. Okay, now going in with my number 3 guard. Now my number 1 guard open, my 1 guard closed, just getting out that line between the 1 and the 1.5. So the 1 guard open equals to the 1.5. So that's why it's easy to start with that open and then blend it down from there. Guys, shout out to C's AG. He's making beats. This is the beat that's in the background right now. I made this beat, and he has a song to go with it. So if you guys looking up on SoundCloud and Facebook, you'll find him. Go check him out. So this is my 1.5 guard again. I'm starting with it open. I'm just going into where I did that number 3 and my number 2. dusting them off, making sure that all the other hairs aren't there. Now I'm wetting down the hair, and even though I already went over that area with a clipper, I'm going to take out my blending shears and I'm going to go over it and make sure that it's all blended into the crown area. Since it was a higher fade, I'm going to want to go over that, blending it with my thinning shears just to go over it and make sure that it's all good. Sometimes even though you went through all the guards that you were supposed to go through, there's still going to be some hairs there left over that you can't really get with the clippers, so you're going to want to go over them with the scissor. Same thing going in with my one guard open and then slowly closing it to go over that the area between the 1 and the 1.5 again. Okay, now before I do the lineup on him, I'm going to take my number 3 guard. I'm going to go make sure the bang area is all set, because he had a double cowlick. He had a double cowlick when he came in. Still has a double cowlick, of course, but he had a double cowlick in the front hairline. So I'm going over that with my number 3, and now I'm starting to do the lineup. Starting with that corner first. Now I'm making sure my hand's steady. I'm putting I'm resting my finger on his forehead, so it's nice and steady. And I'm using my other hand, so I'm using 2 hands. I'm using one resting on his forehead, just so it doesn't move at all. It's a nice steady hand. You're gonna need to go over the forehead a little bit too, so it just helps it stick out better. Get all those hairs. The eyebrows, if they want. I think I'm doing this. Yeah, I think I do his eyebrows just a little bit. Just running the clipper over the forehead part and over where the C cup is, just to make sure all that hair is gone. Making sure that corner's there. Using my mirror to make sure that it's nice and straight. I'm not going back that far. I'm only going back about 1 centimeter. You don't want to push this hairline back at all. Now I'm just going over it with my thinning shears now. The lineup part and the side of the head. Anywhere that I think needs to get blended in more, I'm just going over it. And like I said, with the double cowlick on this hairline, I needed to go over it with the number 3 guard and my thinning shears just to get it down, because it's growing a lot of different directions. Yeah, see right there. My hand's at an awkward angle right there, so you guys can see with the camera, but just go. Now I'm running through where I blend that 1.5 into that 3. Now the high fade that he wanted a nice. He wanted to see the contrast between the skin and the top. He wanted it nice and tight all the way up. So that's why I wasn't afraid to use my 1.5 guard all the way up to the hat band, because I was still able to blend it out with what he had on top. It was pretty short up top. Like again, I'm just going back in with my 1.5, open to close with my number 1 guard. He was actually just getting ready to move to Florida, so he wanted to get a fresh cut before going down there. Gotta hook it up for him before he went down there. Alright, now I think that was my half guard. Okay, now I'm just putting some product in. He wanted it spiked up, so I'm just running it all through, making sure it's to the scalp. Again, guys, go like and subscribe. Go follow CZAG for the music in the background. Now I'm just using my comb, finishing touches on the top. Going over some areas with the scissors, because once it's styled, you can see stuff that sticks out because of the gel. So I'm just going over those areas that I see need some work on. Okay, now it's time for my straight razor. Just going over the lineup with it. The corners, making sure that's good. the C cup area, next to where his sideburns are. Alright guys, go like and subscribe. Another video coming at you guys real soon.